It looks like I'm live. Let me just check something. Okay. Hang on. I'm here. I just want to just wanted to do a couple of things. Let's see. I wanted to make a new banner. Gosh, I'm not really sure where I can do that. I hope you can hear me. Let me turn up the volume. Hello. Let's see. I do have already some banners in motion, and I would like to, let's see, I can duplicate a folder. I didn't want to do that. All right. I don't need to do that. Let's see. I forgot how to make my banners work. I don't really want to do that right now. So, okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Today is Saturday, October 10th already. Hello. Coyote here. I'm going to start coming on. I've been threatening to do that rather consistently, and I've been kind of really just tired these past couple of months. Actually, about the last 6 months, I took a job that was great for the first 2.5 weeks, and then it got more and more stressful because I was handed more workload that was really meant to be shared, and I was learning. And the learning is fine. I don't mind learning, but the learning under stress and lack of communication and lack of supportability for training was taking its toll. So that I quit. And then about a week and a half to almost, yeah, about a week and a half later, I had an interview and got a job. And excuse me, I do like the job. And I was in the last 2 weeks kind of, I think it's my second paycheck. So yeah, because it's the end of, was like, yeah, because I had the end of the third week. So it was my second paycheck. And you get used to, oh, this money's coming in. But the truth is, they're going to shorten my hours, which is great. I would really, if I am supposed to leave at 2:30, I will be like legally in that business, be able to leave at 2:30. But if I wanted to be helpful and there was a need, I probably could stay till later. However, what the ace in that hole is for me, leaving early is good so I can focus. I could give lift rides, but get back to my art, get back to the research I want to do in my channel that I want to do with crystals and my cards and my art and the light codes that I have to share with the world and to help for healing, self empowerment, self direction, not only for myself, but in service of this planet and the Galactic Federation of Nations that this world and worlds will become to be unified in our lifetimes and in those that follow us. So, some of the topics that I'm going to go into are also complement with spirituality and just choosing more joy and walking a middle way, finding that balance between accepting our sensual, sexual, physical journey, and then that other extreme that may force us to take a look at spirituality, but also keeps us extreme in logic or avoiding indulgences. So you have sort of this, just as an example, so this narcissist self gratification, self indulgence on one side, and the other, maybe nobility, wanting to always do the right thing, be the right thing, kind of pressures that we've been under for thousands of years. And to find that middle way to fall in love with ourselves and fall in love with what is in every moment without a comparison to the girl or guy next to you in their shape or form, in their life what they seem to have or not. So you don't compare yourself to their high value that you may feel you could perceive you're lacking, nor in their lowest value that you could perceive you're better than. This is to embrace when you embrace your power and you're in alignment. It's really, we start to this mastery of letting things kind of flow around us, through us. We don't hold on to them. We get to observe, assess, and respond without a dominance of definition that keeps us rooted to a beliefs that don't allow us to shift and flow and go with a natural nature of being serendipitous, intuitive, inquisitive, joyful, blissful, playful, and everything for there to be a balance of when it's time to use something with a, a serious or respected answer in logic and or heart care, and then the heart care to see all as perfect, and any imperfection is perfectly perfect for then. So therefore it's not about fat or thin, young or old, wrinkled or not, messy or disruptive here or beautiful here. It's an experience of joy, an experience of choice, an experience of, oh, would I rather have more of that? Good, I decided. Decided. That's a whole another topic. So some of the things though on this show and channel I'll bring up, and just so talking about the middle way, it is the balanced approach to life, about being fluid and full of possibilities. For example, when the Buddha became enlightened, that is what his discipline was all about. That was his first teaching. That's through Buddhism. That's as much as I know right now. But he was teaching that middle repose way, taking action and inspiration in spontaneous response to something with nobility, grace, agility, with profound just knowingness, with trust. And then there was this, this laughter of just being in the moment. And so it's walking the middle way is the balance. And with that, I wanted to say a violet flame mantra. Now, before I go into the mantra, the violet flame itself is about love. I made little notes, so I'm looking down. It's about transmutation, a transmission of love, of freedom, of transcendence, of transmuting, healing mind, body, spirit. It's a flame that transmutes time and space. It's a flame that's associated with Lord Saint Germain, who actually was a lord that, from some of my looking, he was around in the 1700s, and he had some different names throughout the centuries. And this man in the 1930s, 40s, could be 1920s, Guy Wallace Ballard was taking a walk in Mount Shasta and met a being who said he was Lord Saint Germain. And he had a particular stance, he was in different clothing of the time, and he was a master of the seventh ray. And the masters of the seventh ray are about manifestation, that they transcend time and space. They transcend the norm of what seems the moment of reality, and they're able to traverse dimensions, multiverses, timelines. They're able to bring in miracles. They're able to be present to situations for assistance, for enlightenment, for a way of looking, for a way of seeing truth. And some people during those times got it, and some people were jealous and chose a lower frequency of behavior and outcome. It was their choice. Earth is a playground of free will, and lots at this time contradictings coming up. This has got to be one of the most historically monumental, some people will say biblical, humongously amazing times when we have watched. It's not about one country or one town or one city in one continent. The COVID experience, the COVID experience as an experience was this catalyst, a purposefully planted catalyst to show the unification of history, timelines, dimensions, and peoples all throughout this planet for us to investigate and see where is moral fiber, humanity, and grace, and how we would traverse an idea brought up as a fear. That's only one possibility of any subject. Fear of control, fear to dominate you, fear to keep you so humane as to choose inhumanity, has to choose to be blinded in still that eruption of corruption, horror, unfathomable, and yet truly horrible, demonic desecration of peoples and beings everywhere. Everything is connected to everything else. Now, I'm not going to go into COVID completely, really. That's not what this moment is about. I'm not going to go into sides and unification. I'm not going to go into where you can get all the information about how to protect yourself or what to do. That you can reach out to me and I can send you links and ideas and different ways of seeing things. I know what I know. And if this conversation is either too much for you or you're judging it or you don't like me, I don't care. I want to say, wait, honey, fuck off. Yeah, you heard me, darling. Fuck off and go listen to someone else. Okay. I don't plan on swearing too much. I do love it though. It just says exactly what you want to say. When you say it, it's so clear. I mean, how can you mistake that? Unless you're with your lover and you mean it in a different way. But I want to talk about, because I have these desires of my life to still unfold and go into, and I know that many of you out there do too. We all have been wanting so much wealth and ease and beauty and comforts, and even if we want to keep, hey Deborah, we want to just keep it, we want to keep it simple and maybe even say, oh, I can't be that wealthy and I just want this much wealth, or I just need my life to look like that. I don't need to complicate it with other things. And you're right, because we are so powerful. We can choose to create on purpose, or we can choose to create by default. We are so powerful, we can use justification to try to make us feel better, and blame to make us feel better, and doing the right thing or the wrong thing to make us feel better and show how wonderful we are, or admit in a fishing through for compliment and support how awful we were and we need your help because we're victims. We have that right to choose. However, this time on the planet is to take a look at accountability as well, and to be so accountable that even if you choose to do something mischievous, horrible, unfathomably evil, you have the right to change. And it's no one's business what you did or to hold you back. The God in you has the right to evolve and claim your divinity and to use your powers for good or evil. And I'm wishing for you and all support that you will allow yourself to be the God, goddess, choosing nobility, the harmony of love and frequency and kindness, to take risks into the next steps of your life, to take your bed and walk if you need to quit a job or relationship if that truly is nagging at you and you know that the fixing of it, the staying of it isn't quite right, that you take whatever courage and grace is there for you to muster, and more that is waiting for you to leave. And I'll bring that up because that's about me right now too. So okay, and so that's part of the violet flame and part of what I'm going to have the other this channel evolve into as well. I'm going to have crystal. I'm going to talk about as well. So then the rose gold flame. So what's that? Well, the rose gold flame is a flame of love. It's a powerful flame of self love. Um, and I think I want to say the violet flame also heals all time, space dimensions, and karmic ties. The rose gold flame, I think it's mostly about bringing us back to self love. It's very powerful. For example, when I do my morning intention, invocation, or command, prayer, mantra, morning, and anytime I need it, bringing in protection, I use kind of a white ball of light that I call the Christed light, the white Christed light. And then I'll call in a violet flame. So think amethyst color or a light lilac or a dark lilac purplish color. I bring that in. I also bring in rose gold, and they will permeate the Christed white light so that they permeate that, and then they kind of hew out to the edges as other protective barriers. And then I will ask my Merkabas, like my male Merkaba will spin left to right, my female right to left. I just usually do my hand, Merkabas activate. And I use that, sending them out 25, 50 feet. But before that, I have a mantra that I use as well. It's all incorporated. It takes a few moments. I also shield my chakras. I've been also using, and I didn't want to bring that up to talk about right now, but I've been using the flower of life and also the cube of Metatron. These are very powerful sacred geometries. I was using a mentor, colleague, friend had said something like bringing in like the tarot card, like the Wheel of Fortune or Fortune Wheel of Fortune, or kind of a wagon wheel mandala, and spinning that counterclockwise and placing what do you call it, a diamond shape, a plasma diamond shape, a diamond shape with plasma in it that I would use rainbow colors and pastel colors, and I used it for a while, and I just use my imagination. There's no perfect way. The way that you imagine to use your power and your skills is fine. You can hear from people how they use theirs. You could read about some things and how it's been done. But the fact is, when you're a god, goddess on earth, you get to create your imaginary shields of power, grace, and protection. You may incorporate that which you've heard before and feels comfortable and resonates. But as you grow and change, you use different things in your toolbox, and some things will stay forever because they resonate with you and you identify with them as part of your inherent, either karmic past from the lives you've lived, or what really truly feels fantastic and helpful and all part of how you are. And that's fine. And then you take that and share that with other people, and they will integrate that. They will use it. They may study with you. They will just have conversations with you like this. So I'm just saying some of the tools that I've used, and I myself am searching, because most of my life, honestly, I've just, as I evolved, like from a little kid to a young adult, I would hear people and I would just kind of envision or use what worked for me. Now, in all of that and living life, you're in school, you're in college, you're at work, you're figuring yourself out, you want to have fun. At the time, you're probably like worried about a lot of money or how your car's going to work or how to take care of your pet. All this life is in the way, but your spiritual self is there. Your spiritual connections and are still there. It's just some of us at times we pay more attention than other times, and then some of us, and me now, we want to make it our part of our daily who we are, what we know about energy, frequency, vibration. Thoughts are things, emotions are energy in motion. And they manifest, and this is a great time for manifestation. So we'll be talking about that on the channel too, and I'll probably like even tell you, oh, I'm going to be doing this and doing this like class or this kind of share with my journals and stuff. So, okay, so I talked a little bit about the rose gold flame, the violet flame, Guy Wallace ballad, Lord Saint Germain, the middle way, and and okay, so there are many violet flame mantras. You could call them prayers. The violet flame and some of these Lord Saint Germain, a lot of these Lord Saint Germain teachings were forwarded by Guy Ballard and his wife. I think her name was Kay. They also have these very healing, well, they're organ music, and I know that might seem outdated, but they're channeled and they have a resonance in them that's extremely healing and powerful. If you should get a CD or hear the music again, it may seem outdated for the times. However, there is no evil incorporated into the frequency of what they offer, as opposed to, sorry, most of our very popular and modern day music that we have allowed or danced to or whatever has been to entrain us, and there's actually been a lot of evil intent in that music because the music frequency was shifted from 440, I believe, to 432. No, 432 to 440. Forgive me, it's one of those. You can actually look up the frequency, the proper frequency of music, and there should be something on that. And I can always bring it back into another talk. Okay, so here's an example, and there's many violet flame mantras. Some I don't know by heart. I do know a few by heart because they were just something that was introduced to me a long time ago, which I never really knew where they came from. They were just with teachers or friends or full moon meditations when I would go in the day in college and just kind of want to avoid my homework and be around people, like and feel like I was in community rather than always in school studying and trying to get to work, studying and preparing for papers. So I'd go to these full moon meditations and they were I'd do that, and then sometimes I'd be studying, 2 hours, 3 hours later, or writing a paper. But I really felt called to sit with people who were wanting to do and learning from them, doing things for the planet through intention and setting intention. So here's some of what I want to share, and I'm going to actually post it and send it in the chat. So this is a violet flame mantra, which is about walking the middle way and inviting protection for the day and setting the day so that you are uplifted and protected and feeling really good about your decision making and how you will view life, because life unfolds around us. But as we exponentially choose and create, we can have the most beautiful experiences while the neighbor to the left and right is swearing in, that bad way for blame and very sad and having these tragic things that instead of not being able to see them as opportunities and that the deaths in their family or that person's path or seeing everything as a mirror. I'm not saying in all moments we handle things the way we profess to be in these new upgraded beliefs, but to have an idea of them and implement them. We are supposed to feel our feelings as energy sponges. We are supposed to feel and let them transmute in a observance so that we feel that pain or that gladness and let it go through us so that we're always in fluidity in forward motion, not stagnant, not keeping things inside as a way to always have it be a certain way and create disease in old age um, and a lot of other blocks that manifest in the physical and can show in the outside world as well. So, violet fire, thou love divine, blaze within this heart of mine. Thou art mercy forever true. Keep me always in tune with you. I am light, thou Christ in me, set my mind forever free. Violet fire, forever shine deep within this mind of mine. God who gives me daily bread, with violet fire, fill my head till thy radiance heaven-like makes my mind a mind of light. I am the hand of God in action, gaining victory every day. My pure soul's great satisfaction is to walk the middle way. Now, that type of mantra, in its offer, said once, is great, but the power of it is to say in threes. And you might have heard Tesla say something like, if you understand the power of 369, you will understand the forces of God and universe. And basically, you'll be a God on earth because you'll understand about how frequency works. That and Tesla, I want to work up more, but he was a great mind. I don't even think he's dead. I think he's like a Lord Saint Germain, and I think he's still on the planet energetically. I think he's physically still on the planet in a human form. I don't think he's transcended. I think there are beings on the planet who've been here for quite some time, and they will reveal themselves. They did not die. I think if we're willing to be open to see, we will have that experience with those who will come forward as masters and teaching us mastery. So, if finding this mantra, I believe you can find it under Violet Flame Decrees, or you could find it, Lord Saint Germain Decrees, or even look up Summit Lighthouse Decrees. I don't have all those links here right now, but they're easy to find. And there's one page, I wish I remembered the link I took down some of my tabs by accident, or the laptop did something, and there I will find that page, and I will copy it, because it had a handful of morning decrees about the head, the heart, the hand. One of them even being things like holy, holy, holy Lord God of hosts, that mantra, which I say a lot, or I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear, setting men forever free with wings of cosmic victory. I am calling in full power for forgiveness every hour to all life in every place. I fled forth for giving grace. You're welcome, Deborah. I appreciate you too. You say that 3 times. There's the power of threes. When you hear, if you look up Elizabeth Prophet, when her assemblage, I don't want to call them churchgoers, they were participants. What do you call people who belong to an organization, but you don't call them churchgoers? But they would be praying, they would be doing these mantras, they would be wishing world events in great ways. But anyway, so forgive me, but they'll say them really fast. There's something about them, about the frequency, that when you say things really fast, I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all fear, setting men forever free with God, maybe I'm calling with Father, let me place forgiveness. Then when they say them fast like that, they're articulate even more than that, but it has something that it activates in your sphere. There's something about that. You can even call, like, for example, a Summit Lighthouse Foundation. They may have a headquarters in Arizona or even in Illinois. There's usually people who will talk to you. They'll counsel you. This is just information. It's information. This is information. You don't have to buy it all, but you can integrate what resonates. Because, in other words, the universal mind, the intelligent universe, God, the oneness, all that we're from, all that is and ever was, whatever you want to call the great force, that has existed and existed and existed and existed upon millennium, upon millennium, upon millennium. Archangels, the Elohims, the greatest ones, don't really even know how old the force is that we've come to call God. But God, by any culture and language, is still this the Great Spirit. It is. It just is. It is a consciousness. We come from that consciousness. And what we're going to find out at pretty soon, and if you're willing to be open to finding out. So I think my mantra just set it up in 3 steps. That's what that's there, like that. Broke it up to handle the chat. We're going to find out many a great thing. Many a great thing. We are going to find out that the Bible, as we buy them now, the Bible, as we just all over the world in regular religious places buy the Bible, it is a book that's missing about 114 passages and or books that make up what would be the holy, intrinsic, metaphysical, powerful Bible, because man got to it, evil man got to it, evil ETs got to evil man, or man to make evil, or other beings to make evil, and it got dissected and diluted. There are important words and passages in it, but they are also without the accompanying of the frequency and intent of how to really use it, because we have Christians, some good Christians who will say, "Oh, you like space people? No, that's the devil." You've got some good Christians that can't. They talk to you and they're lovely and they can't wrap their heads around how you can be so great, talk like how I'm talking, but not see God as your Christ and Savior. Well, no, I don't see Jesus Christ as God, my God and Savior. I see him as my buddy and my cousin because he's Syrian. He's from that bloodline, and I am too. And I see him as a great teacher, great Lord, ascended Lord Master, who psychically, intuitively, and with a relationship with the divine, knew that he came into the world to be a servant and be a redeemer in knowledge of knowledge, to show us the keys that we are. And in that, at the time, he was used as a political scapegoat. So he didn't run away. He knew he could. But in his physical death, in that humility, in that disgrace, in that torture that he went through, he knew he would be eternal. He knew it would be a message to humankind and to all nations and beings everywhere of an example of staying the course for victory, grace, humanity, and spiritual alignment. He knew wonderment. He wanted wonderment to come out of it, although it's been skewed and used against people. It wasn't that long ago, 400, 600 years ago, that people were still burning people at the stake for their beliefs in the spiritual divine God and all its greatness, and then talked about planets and what planets do and how they do it. Dumbass, right? Really ugly people, supposedly of royal nobility and Vatican royal spirituality. No, I have to plug it. Evil. Sorry, the Vatican is evil, demonic, down. They eat children. They're pedophiles. And, that's where, okay, look up the Lilly effect and look up cognitive dissonance. Look up the Stockholm syndrome, when you have a captor and the victim learns to love their captor. That the pains that they receive, the captor feels they deserve, and they'll protect the person who's abusing them. The Lilly effect, frequencies that have been trained our brain because we've watched too much television or too much news or too much this or too much sports or too much music that's fed us and honed us, controlled us in a narrow way of looking. And then we behave that way, right? If you listen to some songs of angst, for example, the woe was me stuff, and then you end up attracting lovers like that, and you go, it's not my fault, it's their fault, or the husband, and you get to blame. So you're repeating the stories of these woes. It's an entrainment of the brain. The Lilly effect is a frequency that can rule us. I think I've escaped it. However, I notice myself, what I've created and what I would like not to create anymore. It's very interesting being an observer rather than being always reactionary. And it's interesting even in reacting or responding or observing in perception. Perception sometimes is limited. Sometimes it's better to say, that's who I was then, and let me think about it. Because I've done that recently at a job. I mean, I have a new manager asking me how I feel about the situation, and he's made a decision on things, and I'll tell him I think he made a great decision for the moment. In retrospect, could it have been better? We always can do better. We always can do better. We always can respond better. We always can walk away from something. We always can go back to what we did and try to adjust it. whether psychically, frequency wise, to bless it, or um, revisit the situation with the people involved if you want to, or not. It is a choice. It's okay. So I'm just watching myself with this job. I just want to have lightness and fun with it. I don't want to get into any policies and politics. I ain't going to be there long. I'm going to be thinking about when I'm going to leave in November. I think I'm leaving well before Christmas. I want to go to Florida. I'll be on a shoestring budget, and how this comes in the examples of my trust and learning, which brings me to something like this. A freeform malachite. Egyptians prized the freeform malachite as a protective stone, especially for children. But a freeform malachite, it brings about, then I wrote this down so we could know about it. It's growth, it's for transformation, it's about its power, it's a powerful stone of nature. Like you could actually bury this with a green plant for, it's either 4 hours or 4 days, but you bury it and it will actually pick up the power of the plant as well and like rejuvenate it in a sense and become even more protective. Let's see. It's a stone of risk taking. Out of stones that were next to me that I was sleeping with on the bed, I chose this one. And for the first time, I don't remember it being a stone of risk taking. And it's a stone of like us being more accountable, more responsible, breaking old ties and absorbing all, which I mentioned as a children, absorbing all kinds of negative entities and negative stuff, feelings, surroundings. I would imagine you can actually use it as an what do you call it, to absorb EMFs, just like green aventurine you can use to absorb the negative frequencies of machines, just like let's see, hematite, black tourmaline, which is also really for really keeping negative entities away. It's interesting, like who made all this stuff up? How did crystals have all these different properties? Who started the idea about crystals? That's another one, right? Who originated this? Because crystals and the use of crystals have been around for centuries, right? In wands, in crowns. And there are all kinds of crystal. Crystal, like quartz crystal, is in everything. It's in us. That's why the bad ETs, the bad guys, want our pineal gland, because it has crystal in it. They stick the needle in your, sorry, they stick the needle in your fucking eye, and they want to get the blood out, and they'll keep you alive and torture you to get it. They'll drink the blood from the crystal to keep themselves young. And then they have all the satanic ritual abuse with the people being baby building rape, and there's more to that. I'm not going to go into that right now. Some of you know this if you hear this. Oh yeah, I'll try to get a better picture of it, Deborah. So this one I think I got from a gal in Australia. That's the back of it. Her name is Lily, Lily Maria. I believe you can find her on Facebook, Lily Maria. She also can be messaged. She has Healing with Lily, and she has Awaken Gems. That's the name of her new. She has always done a program for crystals, but she Awaken Gems. Now she's in Australia. She does have crystal shows. She does let you put together a package, and if you purchase so much, yeah, people don't know about the ritual abuse, and some of them don't want to know. They don't want to hear icky things. They don't want to hear the icky things. But when you hear the icky things and you come to term with it, I'm not saying you have to like it, but and not that we have to even, I'll talk about this in a second, not that we even have to be numb to it, but when we accept, this is full accountability, I'm just going to mention, when we accept that even the nicest of us have ritually abused. Oh, how is that? Well, if ever you've ever eaten any meat, if you've ever eaten any pig, ham, if you've ever eaten any lamb, if you've ever eaten any beef, steer, cow, calf, you ritually kill another being and say it's okay. because they're food. We eat food. Well, that food is cooked, and its nutritional value is not as high, but we're trained to think this is protein and we need so much protein, and that's why we kill. And then we like the taste, and we put salt and pepper and herbs and spices and ketchup and breads and cheeses and make all this thing, and you stuff a goose with all kinds of stuff to make a pate, and you call that good. And then complain about your weight and your health. There's been ritual abuse on different levels. So now, in full accountability, the ugliness, the truth of it is, humans were harvested for quite some time, for thousands of years. And if people won't believe the thousands of years, thousands and thousands of years, then take it back 70 years. Let's take it back 70 years. Is not that's a lifetime. That's one lifetime. Let's take it back 70 years to 100 years. And in the 1800s, they were working on spaceships in Germany, right? They had anti-gravitation machines. In the 1950s, was it 1950s or earlier? Eisenhower and the stranger in the White House. There was a good stranger, E.T., in the White House, but he was intercepted by the bad Americans and the bad ETs, his desires, and Eisenhower got duped and roped into, signing things that were detrimental to humans. So full accountability is truly honorable, but at first it's not going to be easy, because if you're a mom and or a meat eater, at some point in your life you've had human flesh mixed in with the cow and the horse and the buffalo. Yeah, maybe me too. I mean, at one time there were times in my life I did have meat, not all the time. There were times, but I could have. If you go to the store and you just buy your beef as red meat that's been grinded, you don't know where it came from, do you? It has the grocery store name on it, but on the back it doesn't say Farmer Brown, 10 Smith Street, killed Sally Cow on Tuesday, Joe Driver drove it to Stop and Shop, or Hannaford's, or Publix, or Raymond's, or whatever your store name is, or they don't have the Whole Foods. They don't have that. They don't tell you where it comes from. So what's in it? Wait, 800,000 women and children have been missing over the years every year. That's the United States. It's not even the whole planet. Where do 700 children go missing from Disney every year? That's not the whole planet, but where, with all this technology that has even evolved in the last several years, where are they? There are all these forensic shows that have evolved in popularity on your regular television, right? That they find people from the past, and they will find their who did what to who, but they can't find these missing children on a regular basis at all, or people or women. Well, that's because they got abducted off-world. How are you going to find, just like the X-Files, right? There was a what's the guy on the show? He has a memory that bothers him, which is why he got into the role of that investigation he did, because his sister got taken off-world. She was captured by E.T. He never saw his sister, and he keeps hoping through his work, through all this investigation, that he will discover his sister. And maybe they made a movie where he did discover his sister. I don't know. I don't watch every single one, but I know of this, right? Little things I paid attention to. So if they're off-world and you looking on planet Earth, you looking in your town, you're looking on USA, you think you're looking in Italy, and they off the planet on the moon, eating, or whatever their slavery, or working in a mine, or in satanic ritual abuse where they're making babies, or experimenting on deep underground military bases, where you're going to find them. Because the regular police ain't looking in deep underground military bases, no, they ain't looking on the moon or Jupiter or Saturn or anywhere. Yeah. So we have a lot of accountability. And I don't mean this. Like right now, I don't feel being mean about it. It's just something in our history, in our experience, to get a real, hold us up by the pubic hairs and say, okay, whoa, I will take a look at stuff, even though it's disturbing, because I want to find and see and know the truth, compare it to the things that I've experienced in my life as a kid, this lifetime, as an adult, as a young adult, as a person, things I paid attention to, things that somehow I didn't think I would know enough about, and connect the dots and go back and look best I can, hear some others talk, got the stuff on the mainstream media going, see what's really feeling like what, make my own decision, make my own informed decision. I don't need to wear a mask. I don't need to get a medicine in the arm. I don't need to get 14 medicines in the arm. I don't need to wear a blanket on my head. I don't need to do whatever I don't want to do. I'm basically very nice to people. I don't steal from people. I don't run into them to harm them. I'm living and living the very best I can. I'm showing up to do what I have agreed to do, but there are things I'm not going to agree to do. And one of them is put stuff in my body that I don't know about. Yes, Deborah. So whoever will watch this in the future, there's a person having a dialogue with me, and her name is Deborah. And see you, Deborah, for at this time and space, no matter what you've been through, going through, or wanting to bring into your life, there's a part of you that was awakened, was prepared for this time, to be a leader at this time, to be a way shower. That is just by in your everyday life. I mean, you could be having something bigger planning going on, but in your everyday life, just as how you are, how you're checking in with yourself, you just know without proof there's stuff. And you may have done research too, but there was just something you just knew. You just knew. Things are really strange and wrong. I don't like how it feels. I need to know more for myself. I'm willing to take a look. And here's the other key part. I'm willing to take a look inside myself where I judge myself, where I'm too hard on myself, where I'm too hard on others, where I'm too quick to go, you're a motherfucking asshole, you dumbass. Because sometimes the other person, they're temporarily a dumbass, but then I'm a dumbass too. It's okay, I don't care. Because I know basically who I am. And I know basically what I know. And I know basically what's the truth and what's going to be coming out. And I'm also open to more. And I'm also open to being wrong. Because I can be wrong. I'm not wrong about everything. We're not going to socialism. We're not going to fascism. We're not going to communism. It would seem like some places have started that way, but it ain't lasting. There are protests all over the world. In Italy, in Germany, in Australia, in England, in Norway, in America, in Canada, in South America. It's in France. It's really everywhere. It's like unavoidable, and the truth will come out. Now, it'd be and like anything else. Some people don't want to see the real movie, or maybe they will go to when it is a movie and go, "Huh, I never knew that. Really, that happened? Oh my God!" But maybe those that are more sleepy but still on the planet, maybe they'll actually go to the new movies that will be created by the truth and integral beings of the planet, and they'll sit through that because they like movies. They'll say, "I don't know if I want to," but they'll go because their friend will nudge them into it, and they'll go because they're moviegoers. That's how that may happen. Or what I do when I sort of pray over people of the world, I will say, when the people are ready, let them have their epiphany, to which will help them awaken in such a way that they're ready for, through whatever means and style that resonates with them. Because you can't go, bam, believe what I believe, bam, you dummy. You can't. That won't help. That just causes a fight and makes you look stupid, and you feel bad, and then you're just gonna hit them more, and they're gonna die, and then you can go to jail. You want to do that to yourself. You don't want to do to yourself. It's a waste of time anyway. Now, sometimes I rant and rave, and you heard me swear quite a bit, because I'm impassioned about the junk of the television's junk. And sometimes I wonder, like, I'll say like stuff like, "Aren't you arrested already? You wearing a bracelet on your ankle over there? Are you $1 million maker movie newsman?" But here's the thing. That's even a waste of my time too. It's better for me to envision my own life better and better and where I want to be and the help I need and moving forward. That's to envision that loveliness. And for you too, to have some dream. Like maybe you're content with your house or where you live and your body, and you're content when you go away, and you're content with how things are. And if you are, and you have no wishes to improve your life, because it is absolutely, absolutely the best there is right now with how everything is right now for you, great. For me, I want things to get better and better. I want to live in luxury and sweetness, simplicity. I want to live with, oh yeah, thank you for you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you is what you said. I want to I envision. Let me just. I wrote something to share, but let me go on this week's. This is what I remember. So you have probably heard, and those new people that will join. I'm gonna move to Florida. At this time, I have a very small nest egg. It didn't get any bigger. It might get a few hundred bigger, and it might get a few hundred bigger if I do more lift rides or do something else. Or it'll get bigger if I allow that frequency, energy, vibration for the money to come like a miracle. Um, I still have money that's held by the Department of Unemployment. And so I can go into meditation, look for that allowance, that or something better will show up, or, it will manifest in my hand. The other part is once you start making a decision, once I start making a decision, getting as clear as I can without not believing that feeling and manifestation of decision of that outcome, it will be. And I know that as a journeyer, as an adventurer, when you make a decision to leave, forces of the universe that watch over you guide you. And serendipitous events show up, people show up to help you on your way. So my new car may fully be in Florida as things unfold. My new place, which I may have this temporary place to go, will be this unfolding for the other big thing to happen for me. That next step of where I would have business and exchange and help with my art, with code healing, with all the things I talk about. Because it's not like just one little thing I love to do. It's like this six things intermingled together. I would love to write screenplays and get a child's book and many little books going around my art and people to wear my designs and little images on clothing. I would love to just send my healing codes out to people, which by the way, in my next videos I'll start to activate my codes. I mean, I know they're in me. I do not activate them right now purposefully. But I feel better if I just set it up and do it that way. And it's not that you wouldn't get that from me even a little bit, because there's something about, and forgive me, Deborah, because you're very complimentary, but there's something about when I show up, accidents really happen. That if people are going to have a car accident, that usually stops, or it's not that bad, or no one dies. There's something about me when I show up, um, energy shifts. So I know that I'm supposed to also start to shift energy either from the seat I sit in and or anywhere else in the world that I travel to. And I am going to be more mindful about that. Some weeks it seems like I am more purposeful, but I'm going to be more mindful of that. I selfishly am wanting to roll in the sands of Florida because there's crystals in the Florida sands. I'm understanding that maybe they're more on the Gulf side, but I'm going to check out the East Coast. And I'm going to be on the East Coast currently, if I go to Port St. Lucie, to stay with a new friend, a new acquaintance, and launch myself from there. Now, in launching myself, I have two kitties and I have a small car. So I can't bring everything that they own. I've got to downsize, which I'm doing. And maybe there'll be things I will want sent to me, but they've got to be packaged up a certain way because my father's 88. And, even if a friend is going to come over to help send, can't have her figure it out. I've got to have it organized for those things if in fact they come to me that way, or I travel back to get them. There wouldn't be much. That's why I'm willing to downsize, because I am still on planet Earth, and they do have stores here. So whatever stores here that I've gotten comfortable with in Massachusetts, I've got some kind of stores in Florida. I'm sure I'll find a TJ Maxx. I'm sure I might find whatever, and I can order from the evil Amazon, which will transform itself because Jeff Bezos, I don't believe is on the planet. I don't believe he went to Mars. I believe he went to God. That's what I believe. I don't know that he cut a deal anyway. I think he gone. He been in a military trial. Yeah, just like our Governor Baker, he be watched. I don't think he longed for this world. Biden ate him. He is gone from this world. Clinton's are gone from this world. Obama's are gone from this world. And many, whether they're Republican, Democrat, priest or pro whatever, gone from this world, many. October is the Red October. It is the month of a lot of people transitioning. Yeah. Whew, like that. So how was I going to? So I told you about that. I will pull a card because I said I would at least pull one card, try to pull one card, two might come up. There was something else I wanted to share with you. And I'm gonna remember. If I don't remember right now, maybe it will come to me. Let's see if I did put it. I started to take a lot of the spiritual stuff I had written and collected and put it into one thing that I was creating. Didn't want to make it too fancy schmancy, but I just got like a sketchbook and I started to write in it. So I wanted to share what I'm doing, that this might invite you to get a sketchbook and sketch, get a sketchbook and put down your thoughts, use it as you hear some things, prayers or your own prayers that you create, put them in there so you'll have a book. I have so many journals, but I really want to pull from the journals and go to Florida with less, because some of these journals things are one or two is really, really old, but they have such wonderful. It's like I should go back and read them like a storybook. Okay. Here's something that's going to blow your mind, you guys. Hold on to your hat, Deborah. If you believe light and dark are separate, you will still have fear. If you believe that light and dark are separate, you will still have fear. And basically that means that even the horrible evil, the alien, did you know the movie Alien? And in the script of it, it rapes the Sigourney Weaver character, whatever. Right, there's like 3 of those trilogies and all the things they mean, and the alien does die in the end and whatever. But kind of is what they did to us. But if you believe that they're separate, think of it. In this universe, we will need what is dark and what is light. It's kind of that frequency, that balance that holds the fabric of the whole cosmos together. And if you think of it, the God consciousness allowed the freedom of good and evil. It's what man, via that mankind's evil, caught up with its ancestors that created us, who helped maneuver us certain ways to kind of in it see it always as separate rather than it as frequency melding, that we need that balance of talk, not the out of whack of either. We don't need the sadistic, masochistic leader and a narcissistic lover who fights well. Sort of be this blend. So the light and dark are one and the same. They've come to teach. So from this all, as we see what we don't want, we get to become what we do really wish to be. In this, we see where forgiveness can be not only in the evil, but the evil or whatever we had judged in ourselves. I've done things I don't want to share because they were horrible and they were evil and they were death. They were awful. They were. So as a trained actor, This is what I want to give you. Not to scare you.
I know what it's like to be evil. I know what it's like to kill you. I know what it's like to kiss you.
I know what it's like to play the angel and feel the angel and be the angel and a messenger of goodness and nobility because I strive for that. And I know what it's like to fall and fall so down that I want to drag whoever I can with me and make them suffer. Did I stay there? No. It wasn't who I was in a moment? Yes. Did I feel great and good about it for a length of time? No. For a short moment, I felt superior. And I felt right. And I felt the evil of it. Powerful. But it felt icky in me. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a thriving. It didn't feel a natural wonderment that I aspire to. It didn't feel like it could live in me for very long because I would not want to be here feeling that being, becoming that being. And because I know and feel both intensely, this light and this dark, that I say they're one and the same. They're here to teach us, and it's mocking the middle way with grace, with humility, with the power of invincibility, the power of the light of goodness, kindness, to be noble in attitude and virtuous. And I don't mean like in the diva, I'm a diva and I'm telling you what to do because I got it and I got money over you in looks and I got blah, 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 whatever. No, it's a kind of goddess. It's a kind of not only a practice, but it's sort of like, when you talk about people who have charm, they just have a natural charming way about them. You are just this. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, and to go where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your heart's too weary and to reach that unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight before it's right without all the words I can't remember, but to be willing to walk that way no matter what. And pick yourself up again, dust yourself off, and walk in that way again. It's okay. Remember, you don't compare. We are learning the science of compassion, that each experience in life is perfect. Now, I'm not saying, an evil should get away with shit, or that we should get away with shit. I'm just saying, we get to rejuvenate and calibrate. We get to decide. We get to decide whatever road we're on, and we get to have this experience. And there were some entities, beings, created or come in, and or us, that decided, I like being evil. I like eating babies. I like sucking blood. I like fucking people. I like having my own way. I like drinking the blood and being youthful. I like getting operations to be youthful. I like going through portals and hunting people. I like going through portals and talking to ETs and telling them what the hell what to do. You get to decide. You get to decide. Our reality can be molded by the power of your word, by the force of your decree, by the belief of your trust in invincibility. You get to create your reality. And if in the beginning it takes a little time, it takes a little practice, just keep doing it. Don't talk against yourself. Don't talk against your decree, your wish, your mantra, your vision. Keep it to yourself for a while so that you will let the birth of it rise up and you walk into it and it meets you because it's looking for its maker. It's a magnet. You're a magnet. Probably have a lot more to say. Let me pull a card because I said I would. And basically, one to help us into our sleep state, something that will help us trusting in these next steps. Let me pull a card that's just right for us, for the ears that will be listening now or later. Let this be fun. Let this be uplifting. Let this be a way to ponder, to incorporate. Let it guide our hearts. Let it make us feel good. Let us know we're not alone and that we have more power than we've been told and that we can use it. Nothing's really that right or that wrong. And you get to make your happiness because you are the key. You can activate that power. Let's just see what happens. So let's take a moment of just letting the cards flow. Nothing yet. There's one. Deborah, or whoever listens to this, if ever you want a reading, I'll be glad to read for you. Okay, so I have the first and the last card. Two came up. Let's see what's going on. Well, okay. So we're talking about making our lives better and living into more. Two cards came up. So I right now even forgot a lot of what I said, but like preparing us for the next and how we can be with the times and how we can be with our own selves and the manifestation of okay. So if that's like along the lines I was talking about, the title of the card is Prepare for a Major Event. It is a painting that was titled King Arthur in Nectan's Glen. So before I show you the card, it's also a number 2 card, which is about balance, yin yang, male female. Remember, I was bringing up the mantra, walking that middle way, the middle way of alignment, being connected. Not too far left, not too far right, not too far male, not too far female, not too far the narcissist, nor the masochistic, sadistic, the ruler, nor the follower. But right in that middle balance of choice and choosing. Okay, so the creator of this card is the artist who painted the picture. And when she did this, and she does it on special linen too. She doesn't use a regular canvas. I think she uses linen. When she did this, it is about King Arthur and what she believes through studying the mythology and or the times of King Arthur, that he goes into Nectar's Glen, which he goes there to meditate before he's crowned king. And it's something that kings of the time were supposed to do, go into this meditative cave, a glen. I think in this glen there was a cave. Like glen to me is a sort of a clearing, a wooded area, but it's deep in woods and there's a cave. It goes in to meditate and be in the darkness all night, to be only with himself. So whatever comes up for him to face, fear, visions, seeing spirits, seeing the masters of old, whatever experience he needed to have, he faces. And that leads him into the next day. If he was meant to be the real king, he would show up and people would see him, standing tall and victorious and ready and able to take on that mastery, to take on the crown, to help him lead his people. Because of his own nobility, his own practices, got him through the Nectar's Glen, got him through that night without him, falling apart, without him becoming crazy. So prepare for a major event. This is what the card looks like. let's see, I just want to see if I can get the glare out a little bit. It's a very pretty, pretty image. And you can see that Sir Arthur, King Arthur, will wear these Pendragons. So they have the red dragon, most powerful of all dragons, all colored dragons, very powerful dragon. He's on his white steed. He's wearing red with red and white. There's a balance of this, root chakra in the Christed light. And the glen itself, while it also is earth and root, kind of roots chakra, it's also very mystical, the void of everything. And there's sort of these little entities, these little dots around him in the glen. There's like they're like little orbs, blue orbs. So we are preparing for a major event. So with all that I said, I also talked about making that we are fully accountable going within. The light and the dark and the light are one, and they're one in us. And we are in control of that, really, and we can have a practice to control that everything is a mirror. And that when we are going after the evil, remember they've done us a favor. They're being transmuted to the golden portal, to the ethers, these people, beings, whatever. And they're going to where the mastermind, the universal one, God, all that is and ever was, will transmute them and recycle them. They may have an opportunity to be soul again. They may, in their matter, be put out into the universe where they can harm no one and nothing, not even themselves, and not return. Because the universal mind has that right to make that decision. In our human form, we do not. What we do is we assist them back. They played their game and played their price, and there's accountability. If I hit you in the face, you are going to hit me back, or you or will tell the constable or police, and I have to face the consequences. I would have to prove my innocence or be accountable to my guilt and to the sentence of whoever that is their judge and the people I've attracted as peers to do whatever. Or if I stabbed you, or whatever the situation was. So in this whole event, we get to be fully accountable to ourselves, to our relationship with the divine, to our communities by standing tall in what we believe, or perhaps we get conformity and we behave in that way. But this is for us to stay light, stay bright, and be in that power, preparing for a major change in ourselves and then in our outer world. Now, the second one, the last one, a grounded one. Remove the mask of your everyday persona. Remove the mask, not just a mask. That too. Remove the mask of your everyday persona. That is, are you truly you? Are you going around in ego? Are you nice when you really mean to say, that's not how I feel, I can't talk to you right now because I'm going to explode on your dummy? Or are you authentically yourself? Or, are you saying, this is not the right time to talk because I do feel I've got some things going on. Hold that thought. I'd like to get back to you in 3 days, 3 hours, whatever that is. So remove the mask of your everyday persona. Kavanga's journey. Now, it's interesting. Kavanga had a twin sister. I can't think of her name. She was stolen away to the underworld. So she's stolen away to the underworld. And the way that Kavanga gets down there is through masks. The way they get home is by wearing many masks to pass through many obstacles so they will not be recognized. And Kavanga can have his sister back in his world, in their world. Kavanga's journey is, again, a painting by this artist who had, again, gone to many cultures and was putting together all these sacred sites, even what was called, the mythology sites. But I don't believe that there's just mythology, it's just a story. I think that those were true places too, that the divine had visited and or made divine for a reason, but for some way we couldn't handle the truth, or those that were in power made you think that it's just mythology, it's not the truth. Like King Arthur in the Excalibur is a mythology. No, he had a blessed, amazing sword that cut through to truth. Okay, so this is number 32. This is number five. Five, like five elements. Oh, I'll have to look that one up. The five is very important. I know it's a very positive sign here. When we remove our masks, we reveal ourselves. Now, this is a woman who was just rescued to go back to her people. She looks to be in shock. She looks to me like, where the hell am I? I thought it would be good if my brother rescued me. I didn't want to live in the underworld. But wow, I've seen worlds. I've seen our bright world, and I've just been married to the Lord of the underworld, and I've experienced that. There was a part of her needed in that underworld, and a part of her, not that she had to like it, but she knew that she had a place there, and her beauty and her wisdom was helping the balance of it. But she's rushed back to a situation that she wonders about, was that the right decision? I love and care for my brother too. But I experienced something. People may not understand. I know both sides. And if I remove my mask, what's really there is I've discovered that many sides have many of points that are true and I should take in. And I can't be myself anymore if I've experienced this light and this dark. If I've experienced daytime and nighttime together, if I've experienced more, I can't go back to being who I am. And none of the masks work. My everyday persona is something I've got to really take stock, really take a look at who I am becoming. Where and how do I want to be in this world? And is it enough to just be one way? Or is it part of an experience to embrace both, knowing I can still choose, but the mask of everyday persona being a princess, just a princess, the princess. Maybe there's more to that. And I need time to integrate everything. Kavanga walks away. He's done his job. He got back what he wanted. So we're going to need a lot of understanding with these times because we've all held masks up to get us through and navigate our times, right? There were times I was scared shitless not wearing a mask and I wasn't as trusting and I had some bumps. I still didn't put that fucking mask on. I wasn't as light and bright. I was a little wobbly. But I had to, but even so, can't you see that the people who do wear the masks and get many of these, they have their choice? And can you wear a mask, a bright face that says, I'm here for you? I see both sides. Not liking everything, but I can stand in my sovereignty. I can stand in my knowing. And in my knowing, I don't have to call you every second an asshole or stupid sheep or whatever it is people get carried away with talking. We can say to ourselves, I'm removing the mask. Got you. I hear it. Thank you. We can remove all our masks of pretense, of power, all the masks that get us through our fishing for an answer, and strive to be so authentic. Like this girl, she looks like, brother, I don't mind being a few days with my people, but I gotta be alone. I gotta think. I think I gotta go back. I gotta have a way to go back and forth. I've experienced something here. She's removed a mask. She's still undecided. And she's got all these masks left to put on if she wants to. And Kavanga has a mask under his arm as he's walking away. So this card, when I pull it, means the decision is still unfolding to me. It's a kind of a troubled card, as we are finishing some troubled times. So know that we're preparing for events in our lives that with nobility and going within, we can face and become victorious, because the outcome of this card is we know King Arthur becomes a king, right? Arthur becomes a king. And this one, our relationships can be simple. Our relationships can be complicated, complex anyway. And that there's a way, like this woman, there was a part of her that's in shock, and she's missing where she was, I think. Yet she's come so far and she's back with her people. She's got some things to integrate before she dares put on a mask, or she dares reveal her own everyday true persona. Number 5. Let me see what number 5 is. Do I have it close? One moment. One moment. I may not be able to find it. I can't think. I used to know my numbers a lot better because I wasn't doing this as often, reading cards as often the last few months. Number 5 is very good, and I'm just remembering it's very positive. I'm just remembering like um, earth, air, fire, water, ether. That's very powerful. So on my next little talk, I'll report on the 5, but it is 5, and you can look up what number 5 is. And so sorry about that. Because I've been organizing my journals and stuff, I don't know, right? I should have it together and it shouldn't be far. But if I'm not finding it this quickly, then I'm not clear. Where I put it. No, not. It is not meant to be. My friend is not meant to be. So, with that said, let's see about tying this up all together. Violet fire, thou love divine, blaze within this heart of mine. Thou art mercy forever true. Keep me always in tune with you. I am light, thou Christ in me, set my mind forever free. Violet fire, forever shine deep within this mind of mine, God who gives my daily bread. With fire, violet fire, fill my head, till thy radiance heaven-like makes my mind a mind of light. I am the hand of God in action, gaining victory every day. My pure soul's great satisfaction is to walk the middle way. Many blessings to you, Debbie, and anyone who is listening or will come to listen to this. I hope you will get something out of this chat. I hope that you will visit again. I'm going to take this opportunity to, read more cards and the outcomes of what they say, because the cards don't lie. They really do point to truth of the moment and are helpful. The other part is I'll be sharing my experience about organizing my journals, my adventure to Florida. I'll be bringing up crystals. I'll be bringing up maybe books and movies, as well as I will remember on my next visit to make sure I definitely consciously turn on my light codes. I can tell you that they're in my body. I can tell you that they're here anyway, but I like to do my prayer mantra to set that up. Keep me in mind for art. I gonna work on stuff, and I did finish just an image, but I'll show that tomorrow. And I guess that's it for tonight. I wish that you stay light, stay bright. May all your dreams come true. Please know that your word is your wand, and start to feel out how you really love your life to live. For there, money should be no object. Everything will show. Um, you get giddy with crystals. Yeah, I have I want to sell crystals. So either I'll be doing crystal shows, investing in crystals and have crystal shows, but also looking into doing crystal grids or setting grids as I go travel. So yeah, we'll talk crystals and yeah, just keeping you updated with different things to do about energy, frequency, vibration, and keeping us in such a vibration that nothing can really ever get us down, and that we're going to walk with such invincibility and nobility during these times where people seem to be scattered and scared. You will have an opportunity, knowing just a little bit more, either from these talks and or your own adventure. You can walk that middle way and help others just by your being in your now. All right? I'll just post how to get in touch with me, and then I will let you go. Okay. Thank you so much for spending your time with me this way. Activate the power within. You are the key. Bye bye.